We're back a second time with Battletech Solaris Nights, episode 129, Karl delVillar versus Kazuna. Now, as you might know, Kane, we do things a little differently around here. You got a pre-match interview. You get to pick from 4 options. Interview with the Donegal Broadcasting, interview with Professor William Williamson III, a match-side statement to Duncan Fisher, or ignore talking to the media at all. And you get the same option at the end of the match. However, at some point during this episode, you must mention to the media, it can be mid-match, you could even just make a statement mid-match, like while you're fighting your opponent, and be like, wow, I really like to drink primary beer. You need to represent a investor product or service before, during, or after the match. Otherwise, your repair costs will increase by 1.
Okay. And Donegal Broadcasting is still very pro-Lyran right now.
It is very pro-Lyran. In fact, it's even more pro-Lyran than before. They have not attempted to hide it.
And Mr. Williamson is openly pro-Fed Sons.
He is pro-Federated Sons, yes.
I'll go to an interview with Mr. Williamson.
Okay. You're used to interviews in studios where the host sits behind a desk and you sit in a chair, right? This is more of a guerrilla media affair. You're sitting in the space version of a Starbucks, having reserved several chairs, and there's like a small media team of like 3 people doing like gaffing and video for you and makeup. William is finishing up a set as like a one-man jazz band doing vocals and also a little bit of like I don't want to say drums, but like percussion, you know, doing a little bit of that the scratchy thing on the cymbal to make like a that sort of thing. Like he's doing like a poetry jam. The camera follows him as he picks up his markered in cup of coffee, come sit down next to you while the two of you look out a warm, muggy Solaris evening. You know, looking out at the traffic in the Solaris International District as he sits down and he salutes you with his cup, and then he takes a sip of it and says, Karl, it's been a while since I've seen you. How are you doing, Star Colonel?
I am doing well. It is good to see you out and about.
Well, you know, I appreciate that. I feel like I've got a lot of friends at Apex Dragons. They've always been there for me, and I always want to be there for them as well. When you wanted to interview with me, I was delighted. Well, you've certainly had quite a career across the inner sphere, and now as a Star Colonel of the Ghost Bear Dominion.
Yes. This means that my duties to the Tumen are increasing, and accordingly, this will be my last season as an active gladiator.
You're saying that this tournament will be your final one?
Yes. It is with some sadness that this is true.
So he takes a sip of his coffee, and then what do you think it says about the superiority of clan genetic engineering that in a tournament to determine the best mech warrior, an aerospace pilot and an elemental have both entered as mech warriors?
I think that it shows that while there is a degree of respect for those here who have made significant technological advances since we have become present here, we do still have an edge that it seems that There aren't many here who are willing to do like we do.
He's put his coffee down and now he's playing with the lid, facing it in different directions. And, in the background, you hear somebody just say, like, order for Johnson. Karl, I'm a political man. I'm sure you know that when people come on my program, I have a message that I'm trying to send. Your people, the Ghost Bears, are an honorable people. I think it's safe to say.
We are. And I've been surprised by the number of spheroids that I have met in my time here who act with their own honor as well.
Would you count Prince Victor Ian Steiner Davian as one of them? He went to your clan homeworlds. He fought for the inner sphere, and the Ghost Bears decided not to fight him. In fact, they stood aside.
He came and he conducted himself with honor.
Can you say the same thing about the Archon who stole her seat?
The way that the Archon has decided to take power is not one that would be acceptable in the clans.
I'm not a man for subtlety, Star Colonel. I feel like I've made my point here. No need to dance around it. What about you? What do you have to say about your upcoming match in the jungles of Spica?
I am glad that the end of my career as a gladiator is a grand tournament. I know that the stable that I have enjoyed fighting with has a history with my opponent. And I am honored to continue that tradition of this stable fighting this opponent.
Do you think you can go all the way to number one, to the best mech warrior in the inner sphere?
I have what it takes. And I think that there will be, even if not myself for some unforeseen reason, I think there will be a clanner who wins this.
All right. So he gives you a little side eye. He sips at his coffee and says, I don't have any other questions. Do you have anything?
I don't have any questions. As always, your calm dignity is a pleasure to be around.
I feel like he does what I did there. He just kind of laughs for a minute and, like brings his head down a little bit, takes another sip. And, as they edit in like a jazz fade as the screen goes to black sort of deal. They get a cool announcer to be like, that was an afternoon with Professor William Wyndham Williamson. That sort of deal. Morgan Freeman does the voice acting for it. It's incredible. Look, it's my fake fictional show. I can get who I want on it. I mean, forget him being the announcer. I would get him to just be William.
Yeah.
I think you said you wanted to research your opponent pre-show.
Yeah.
Okay. As you know, Kazuna is a member of Blue Shot Weapons Manufacturing, their personal mech warrior team.
All right, let's see how this goes. And this is a...
That's a great question. It's been like 4 months since I've had to do this roll. It's instinct.
Instinct? Okay. Well, then that's an 8.
Okay. You gain 1 point of stress,
Mm-hmm.
and you get to pick one option to reveal.
I would like to know what the battle mech is going to be.
Current favored battle mech is a prototype that has been worked on for some time. It is the Cestus 7A.
LB20.
Yep, an LB20 juiced up with cluster rounds and some slugs. Sort of meant to be a medium range fighter paired to ER medium lasers, but unfortunately they're the inner sphere version, so they don't have the longest range. It should be noted that this mech also has a dire lack of case.
Yeah, I did notice that. Well, if my opponent is going to risk the biscuits, I will bring my Mad Dog.
All right, do we have that sheet available?
I have sent it to you in the past. I don't know if that means it's readily available to you or not.
It should be. Let me see if I can find it. That's the real thing. Okay, Dire Bear, Hunter's Highlander, the Cronus, another Cronus. We have a lot of Cronuses available.
Yeah.
Timberwolf, Spectre.
The Bear Claw.
2 different Spectres. Oh my god. The custom celerity. See, I'm just working backwards in time, and I have a channel on Discord that's just called Custom Mix.
I mean, I guess that makes sense, especially with this show. You end up with a ton of them.
The first version of the Dire Bear. I mean, if it's not here by that, I probably don't have it in Custom Mix. It's probably in Gladiator chat.
The name of the file that I would have sent is Fastest Bear Claw or Mad Dog Bear Claw. Okay, I can send you the PDF.
I got Mad Dog Bear Claw in a chat between the two of us. All right, let me upload it.
Yep. Its only appearance, I ran up on somebody who said, absolutely not, I'm done. So.
That sounds like me surrendering before fighting.
I think they were expecting a long-range match against my Direwolf.
It might have been Archer Bowman. I remember he surrendered.
I think it was.
Yeah, so I mean, he had just recently. Every time he's fought Apex Dragons, they've all immediately run up on him and kicked his ass. Okay.
I mean, he's a long-range specialist, so that is the plan.
All right, let's take a look at this thing. Supercharger, 2 ATM 12s, and 4 ER small lasers. This build looks like it was made in MechWarrior Online. Just the ER small lasers.
Oh, I don't know. Maybe there's some influence from that, but
Engineer Blake also was constantly like, "Yep, small laser spam. That's the it's the highest damage alpha strike in the game. 0 rear armor.
Yep,
you're fucking insane."
It is a dueling mech.
All right, we have new rules for the arena, by the way. Now the winner picks which side they come in from, and the loser gets the opposite side.
Okay.
Rather than both people almost always starting right next to each other, which has led to very short fights that don't take advantage of the beautiful varied terrain that this map has. I felt really bad for Dunamis because we've never had a long range duel. Well, there's been like one match where people crawled around the edge of it. All right. Kazuna will use these Lyran dice. Let's talk about intro. What's your entrance into the arena look like?
So I think he's been adding a little more as time goes on. So now his intro, he'll have a tech bring the mech to the field. And he'll have this, he started this thing with this tribal drum line thing that he had going, but now it's sort of expanded to its heavy metal with the tribal drum thing going. And he'll come out in furs and like 2 Dane axes, and he'll make a show of like spinning the axes around a bit and walking alongside the mech. sort of roaring at things while he's got some like face paint on and stuff.
So for the folks at home, the Dane axe is a wood handle hafted axe where the end is just like a burst of metal and that's it. They're not like what we would consider an axe. They're a Dane axe.
Yeah.
Do the Danes still use them? Probably not. They still use the same axes we get at Home Depot, I would think, but I don't know. The Danes can correct me. I only
Any
know
Danes
two
that are out
Danes.
there, leave it in the comments.
Yeah, I only know two Danes, so you know. The Danes show up and they're just like, no, man, when we need to chop wood now, our general purpose is to use an English long halberd. I want the power of a pike and an axe at the same time.
And while his mech doesn't have any unit insignia on it at all, it does have the Ghost Bear Dominion insignia on it.
I forget what that one looks like. It almost certainly has the 6-clawed Ghost Bear, right?
Let's
Ghost
see.
Bear Dominion. Rasselhag Dominion has the old Rasselhag runic symbol behind it, but that doesn't happen for a couple hundred years. Let me ask this. Does Karl delVillar speak either Swedish or Swedenese in any way?
He would have learned Swedenese in this time.
My God. Everyone loves Swedenese, man. I don't know. Everyone I've ever talked to about Swedenese is like, wow, this must be a great language.
And I think, just for a little extra, I think written across one of the legs in Swedenese, it'll say honor.
Interesting. Everything about Kazuna's entrance would indicate that he is putting on the live action version of a Gundam anime opening.
Yes.
His incoming song is called Just One Dance and is 1/3 in English and 2/3 in Japanese, but the English is just like a single word for emphasis, but there's one like every sentence or lyrics line, with the exception of the one phrase, which is the only one anyone remembers, right? is entirely in English. It's like he drops out of the sky. His Cestus has been custom fitted with like external jetpacks, right? And then he like Gundams around. He does the typical Kazuna thing, which is where he pilots his mech entirely with a Star League Neura helmet, so he doesn't have to move his arms at all. He's just piloting with his mind. So he just pilots with his arms crossed, right? And then the mech does it as well. And he's just zooming around the arena. He's occasionally doing like dabs and stuff. And then his production team holographically has an overlay over the terrain that's here, right? So it makes it look like he's running across the desert towards the setting sun for no apparent reason. Then there's, flashbacks around him holographically of previous fights that he's fought in where he's overcome great odds. And then he ends with like this perfect camera shot of him coming into a frame from above, and his feet are dangling, and then they come up and they perfectly hit the ground just in time for those external jump packs to just flow off of him. And he goes, I'm Kazuna. Like, the crowd erupts. They're going wild. People all across Solaris are like, man, I fucking love Kazuna. The best. Who else could put on a show like Kazuna?
All right, time to roll.
Yeah, let's do it. Can't wait to lose. You're going to absolutely fucking pummel me. Every time I've used this Cestus, I've come 1 inch from death.
Right. And this is a regular initiative off, right?
Correct.
All right, I have an 8 right now.
7. Pick your
Okay.
side. And know that in picking the side, I am sent to the opposite side, the Shadow Realm.
I will go on this side.
That side, huh? All right, let me think about this.
So are we doing it like we do with the other maps, where you
Yeah,
pick your
I
specific
place
position
first, and then you.
Okay.
Yeah. So I'm just doing some math. You definitely outrange me. I am going to want either heavy cover to approach you or a solid flat angle. Heavy cover to approach you is definitely on the menu here.
Oh, when you're looking at how much I outrange you or not, I have no extended range ammo.
Well. That does change some of the math. But I feel like I'm
All I have is
solidly
HE
committed.
and standard.
I'm committed here to using the center to hide from you and then forcing a close range brawl. Please go ahead. I've placed.
That will be my location.
Very well. You know, by the time people watch this episode, the ability to buy mechs will have been removed from Patreon. How sad. I hope everyone's bought what they wanted for all their favorites. All right, here we go. Today is technically the official start of season 3. I know we had a Ludeman episode, but I didn't know we would have it so early. I got a 9 and you got a 10, right?
I got a 10, yeah.
What a waste of a 9. All right, I'm a 4-6, so I just charge ahead 6 spaces. And I get exactly where I thought I would. It's not like I had a lot of options.
All right.
He's fast.
No supercharger, no mask.
Oh, so you're just that fast without any of that other shit.
If I kick them both on, I can go 15 hexes.
Fuck. That's why this guy isn't worried about being shot in the back.
Yeah. We can't see each other. I don't think the evasion matters.
That's true. But we don't do it because we want to. We do it because the rules say we have to.
Yeah.
6 initiative.
Six initiative. I have tactical genius.
Well, we both re-roll first.
Okay.
9.
That is a 6.
Okay, now tactical genius kicks in.
9.
Okay. So you've already used tactical genius, but we re-roll because we're matched.
We're
5.
really fighting for that initiative.
Jeez.
8.
Okay, you've won. That is a huge problem for me because it's... You have a fairly good chance of being able to get behind me at a 15. These woods will probably slow you down.
Neither of us have jump jets.
He's going to begin the climb. Did I miscalculate? I thought this was about as far as you could get.
I can go 15.
Is this not 15? Well, I may be in a lot of trouble.
1, 2,
I'm
3,
in danger.
4, turn, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, turn. For 11, 12, 13, 14, 15.
I'll be okay then, because you're covered by this. The 2 hex high right here. Right? If you're
that's
here
too far
or
in
here?
the way. I'm here where the die is.
Yes. So
if I go there,
this 2 high is in the way. You're hidden underneath it.
Okay.
I think that's how it works. Yeah, you're hidden there. All right, so listen, for Kazuna, like me, was like, there's no way he could get behind me. And you're like one step away from being right behind me. He's like, oh shit.
I suppose I do need to try not to roll snake eyes here.
Oh, of course, yeah.
Okay, there's the first.
Oh,
and the second.
Listen, Tabletop Simulator lagged for me for a second, and it showed 2 ones while one of the ones was in the air. It was a little spicy.
1, 2,
okay.
3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12 hexes. What's the evasion on that? I don't think I've ever gone this fast before.
12 should be 4. Yep.
Yeah. Okay. That's pretty nuts for a heavy mech.
You're going to be a real serious pain in the ass if you ever charge.
Yeah. We can't shoot each other. All right. 11.
Hmm. 11. I have to put myself in a position where you can't get behind me, which I don't think is going to happen.
Why does it say the LB20 is... Oh, the LB20 is based in the center torso. What? Is it center bleed into right, or is it right bleed into center?
It doesn't matter. If it's disabled anywhere, it's disabled in both. If they were using partial rules, it must have been placed partially in the right torso. And because of the way XL engine works, it had to bleed over in the center torso, which would have had available spots at the bottom.
Okay.
Shit. How do I do this? Okay, I think it's reasonable for Kazuna to assume that you won't do something like try to kick him in the head.
Karl, including the time skip, Karl has never used a melee attack.
1, 2,
even when presented with opportunities to do so.
4, 5, 6. So if I get right here, I'm actually going to be facing this direction, right? No, I was doing it correctly. Never mind. I'm here. You can't. Oh, you could shoot me in the rear if you could somehow get up there. That feels like a pretty weird way to go. I'm just going to commit to this because you're so much faster than me. I don't know that there's a lot of strategy where I can successfully protect my rear otherwise. At the very least, this gives you only one avenue.
Let's see, and that's those crits are on the right side. All right. I will 1, 2, 3, or 2, 3, 4, 5. Put that there. Let me get my walk die here. Karl is not going to shoot you in the back.
Thank God. He is, however, going to shoot me.
He is, however, going to shoot you.
That's a problem. It's a slight problem. Not one I can do anything about, though. We are where we are.
Yeah.
So, let me understand this right. Karl has never physically attacked, even when someone else has physically attacked him?
Correct.
Does he feel that, like, has he ever made a statement like, wow, this guy physically attacked me, what a dishonorable coward, I'm so upset about it?
He's definitely made commentary on how he views melee combat as distasteful and dishonorable.
Right. So while I could punch you in the leg, I will not do so. Instead, I'm just going to Alpha Strike.
Okay.
I'm going to be honest here. I need luck to win this, so I'm going to Fire Cluster.
Okay.
Hope for a head hit or a center torso, anything to really change the odds here. Because
see if you can snake one into a
I don't
center
know
torso critical.
Yeah, I don't know that 20 points of damage anywhere on your mech is going to make the kind of difference I need.
Only if you hit me in the head.
Yeah, or again, center torso through armor critical could be huge.
Yeah, but that 20 damage doesn't matter for that anymore.
Oh yeah. Oh, I see what you're saying. Yes, 20 damage to the head would be a big deal for you. Yes. All right, so let's do. Everything's gonna be. That's pretty high.
I will also note that because Karl delVillar has respect for Kazuna, he did not choose to combat intuition and just blow him away.
Yeah, I appreciate that. All right, we're doing ER mediums, ER mediums, medium pulse lasers, streak SRMs, and then cluster LB20.
Okay.
So 6644 665. Okay. Right arm for what is the Unitier version?
The initial mech?
5.
Yeah, it's all sure. Okay. Right arm?
Yep.
Okay. Right arm for 5.
Right torso for 5.
Okay.
Left leg for 6.
Okay.
Left leg for 6.
Okay.
First streak fires. All 4 will hit. Right arm for 2.
Okay.
Center torso.
Okay.
Left arm.
Okay.
Right arm.
Okay.
Well, that's a head hit.
All right.
The second pack will successfully fire, and first one will hit the head. 2.
Mhm.
Left arm.
Okay.
Right leg.
Okay.
Left torso. LB20.
Okay.
Oh my god, it misses.
Oh, that sucks.
Hold on. There's no way I can walk away from this. I mean, 7 twice 12. Yeah, I'm gonna add 1 point of edge here. Well, that will hit. Okay, so the first hit is left arm.
All right.
Then I need these 10 and then an 11th, and that'll get me all 12. We're looking for either 7s or 2s here. 12s.
No, 2s or 12s.
There is a 12. Yeah, another head hit
All right.
for 1 point.
Okay. I recorded the head hit.
Then you're looking at right arm.
Okay.
Right torso.
Okay.
2 hits to the left arm.
Okay.
Another hit to the left arm.
Okay.
2 hits to the right arm.
Okay.
And then 2-5, which is 2 hits to the right leg. And the final hit is right arm.
All right.
Now, you may have some abilities that will let you offset that first head hit.
I don't have battle drill, but I do. Can I use some of my glory to try to roll out of that?
Yes. So you start the season with 2 points of glory. It should also be noted, I forgot to mention this, when you started this battle, you gained a point of stress as well. So you should have at least 2 points of stress.
Yep.
And then every time you take a head hit, you also build a point of stress.
Yeah. So I'm going to try to do some glory here to see if I can.
It's true. So the
avoid these
first
head
time
hits.
you take the head hit, you roll plus instinct after spending glory.
Okay, that's a failure. So I just take it.
You take it and you gain another point of stress.
Okay.
So You take a stress for each head hit, plus you take a stress for failing to block the head hit. So you're now at 5 stress. You're on the verge of having a breakdown mid-match.
All right, so if
you just keep getting hit in the head and you're just like, oh, this is so frustrating. You're being knocked around in your cockpit, like you just can't keep your cool.
So if I hit the 6 and I have the stress moment, my max goes down to 5, right?
Correct. And you spend a whole turn doing nothing but raging out in your mech.
All right, I'm gonna just sit at the 5 and just take the other one. I'm not gonna risk it.
Well, I mean, you can only block the first one.
Okay.
Yeah, you can only do it the first time. It's not an infinite deal.
All right, cool.
I wanted to take away from players the ability to accidentally force themselves to cross that line. It also made glory very important. It's a rough start, but now you get to Alpha Strike back. And
which I'm going to do.
All of your fires going down their right side.
Yep. I'm going to start with the small lasers, and then I'm going to be firing HE.
Great. Awesome. This is going to be amazing.
You're not in woods. I need Tuesday. I need
I need a negative number to hit. Don't worry about it.
All right. Well, small lasers. Okay, that's 5 damage. See, I'm on the right side. Yeah. Left leg.
Okay.
That is 5 damage right arm. That is 5 damage left torso. Ooh, man, that crit roll. Why'd it have to come so early? 5 damage center torso.
Okay.
First ATM 12. Is going to hit. I have Sandblaster for ATMs. So that is going to be a max cluster. So that is all 12 missiles at HE is 36 damage. And that's still in 5 damage groupings, right?
Yes.
All right. Let's see, can I see? So for 36, it's going to be 8 groupings. Put this here so I can keep track of how far I'm at in this. All right. Well, the first hit location was 5 damage to right arm.
Okay, right arm, 5.
5 damage left torso.
Okay.
5 damage center torso.
Yep.
5 damage left arm.
Yes, sir.
5 damage right torso.
Got it.
Five damage right leg.
Uh-huh.
5 damage right leg.
Mm-hmm.
5 damage right leg.
Oh my god.
And 1 damage right leg.
Okay. Well, it's a good thing that legs often have lots of armor.
Yeah, right. Second ATM 12.
Boy, I can't wait.
Is going to hit with all 12.
On a 6? On a 6?
So the launcher gets a +2 to cluster, and then I am at short range, so I get +4 for sandblaster. So that's a 12 on the cluster.
SPAs were a mistake. We should only play 30-25 from now on. No more clans.
No, no more clans. So that's going to be 8 groupings. Left arm for 5.
Wait, 8 grouping? No, yeah, right. The 4th group is just, or the 8th group is just 1.
It's just 1 damage, yeah.
All right, go ahead. Destroy me.
Left arm for 5.
Yeah.
Right arm for 5.
Mm-hmm.
Right torso for 5.
Yep.
Right leg for 5.
Got it.
Right torso for 5.
It's not ideal, but okay.
Right arm for 5.
It's now down to 0.
There we go. Headshot for 5.
Oh, my head was already missing armor. Okay, got it.
Right leg for 5.
All right.
Center torso through armor critical is a 7 a crit.
That's a right torso through armor critical.
You're right. Right torso through armor critical is a 7, or do I have to have an 8 for that to crit?
8.
All right, so it does not crit.
That's good, because that's where the LB20 is.
Yeah, and then 1 damage right torso.
Okay, well, my mech is barely hanging in there. I passed my consciousness check for my head hit.
I need to make more than 1. I passed the first. I passed the second.
Okay, so the head hit doesn't happen until the end of the head hit doesn't happen until the next phase, but this is still a failure to stay standing. Is it? No, it's only a +1. No, it's still a failure. Yep. I'm going to use my second point of edge. That is a success.
I also passed my piloting check.
Okay. How much do I mean, now I'm risking death at this point. I don't have an edge to eject out on this huge pile of ammo that I'm riding. How bad are you looking? Other than hitting you in the head, you're pretty much
I'm
good.
fine except the double head hits, so
I mean,
so
I'm at the point I'm going to start losing pieces of my mech no matter what happens this round.
He just took 96 damage.
Yeah, it's not great. I don't know that a counter-strike from me could successfully disable you, except if I continuously hit you in the head, and you can easily knock huge parts of my mech off. I feel like, in the interest of living, having seen what just happened, Blue Shot Weapons team fires up the surrender flare.
Okay.
So, Kazuna stays standing, and then his team surrenders, and he's just like, yeah, I appreciate that. I would prefer not to be dead. But all he says to the cameras is, I'm Kazuna. People are losing their minds. I mean, it's not often you see a surrender in matches like these, but it's also not often you're looking at like 200 bomb damage from an exposed torso, and, you know, a fusion core is very close to being exposed. Half the weaponry is at threat here. Like, some engineer at Blue Shot Weapons should lose their job for designing this mech. That's all I'm saying. No mech warrior should ever have had to climb into this thing. I feel like Kazuna after the match goes back to the design team and is just like, this is bad. This is bad mech. No one will buy this. I actually want to know who at Battletech HQ designed this and thought this was a good idea. Every time I see this mech, I'm like, who? It's technically not made until post-clan invasion, right? It's a Jihad era mech, which makes me think, who thought this was a good idea?
Yeah. With all the things available in the Jihad, not putting case in.
I mean, forget the Jihad. This mech could have technically been made in 3058.
Yeah.
Even in 3058, they had the armor-piercing ammunition. Just 4 ammo bins in one location? It's insane!
That's kind of why I got on the right side. I didn't want to blow up the ammo and kill Kazuna.
I appreciate that.
I was like, I want to take out the LB-20 and try to force a surrender.
Well, you did get your surrender. Yeah, look. Clan warriors don't often receive cheers from the general public, right? They do have their own clan diehards, clanners in the inner sphere, people who I don't know that I'm going to be able to say this without insulting a bunch of people, so let me just skip past that and say the Ghost Bear Dominion is starting to become somewhat popular, specifically among Rasselhagians. The fact that refugees can go home and essentially receive something close to citizenship and vote on things, and their prince is also kind of in charge, and their former leadership is mostly left in place on a lot of worlds, speaks pretty highly to them, right? It's still allowing a enemy to run them, but the Ghost Bears have been, for an invading force, they've been pretty good. You know, it's not that there isn't any resistance, it's just that there's no militant resistance, because things are bad, but they're not so bad people are up in arms in the streets with guns.
Yeah.
They've figured out that the clans will let them settle their problems with words. And some would say that's why the Ghost Bears are the kind of clan that can pull a partial victory out of Tukid. However, you may have won this battle, but Star Colonel, 5 stress is a hell of a lot of fucking stress.
Yeah. So given that there's no longer a purchase to reduce stress.
That's correct.
Did we also lost all post-battle activities?
Yeah, I mean, so the problem is that post-battle is now day to day rather than weeks in between matches, right?
Okay.
Your people can buy you recovery from the damage, the physical damage, but de-stressing you is, you know, you're gonna undergo a lot of stress during this, and you're gonna have some stress freakouts. You can, however, make a political statement at any time to lower your stress by 1 point, but, you know, failing it is bad and could also lead to some very serious ramifications, so use that with care.
Yeah, and that's an entertainer role.
It is.
And I have to get, what, a 10 plus in order to reduce stress instead of gain stress?
7 and 9 reduces stress by 1, or you gain a point of glory. 10 plus reduces stress and gives a glory. Speaking of, you won the match. You get a point of glory and a point of XP.
That'll become important.
Yeah, I expect it will.
Since I'm almost leveled up, so that'll happen, you know, provided I don't get knocked out.
Sure.
I think when he goes to, I think when he gets out of the cockpit, he'll take off his helmet and put on a Solaris Centurion's hat.
As you're putting the Solaris Centurion's hat on, let me just say that you know, there's probably a news program going on right now where the Solaris Centurions have inducted fan favorite Elizabeth Carmelian as an honorary Hall of Famer for her close work with them and additional. Let me go get Lawson's thing. I didn't think this would come up, but it has now come up. Let's see here. For her work, there's an ongoing ceremony right now where she's being inducted and a permanent display in the Hall of Fame wing of the LCS offices. As that's happening, they're like, we cut now to a live statement from Star Colonel Karl delVillar.
The Solaris Centurions we have enjoyed a close relationship as a stable, as warriors, with the team and the team management. And their continued support is how we have managed to get so many warriors into this grand tournament. To the Solaris Centurions, this match was for you.
Okay. Let's make that roll, Star Colonel. I want to see those dice come up with big numbers.
Is this which stat is this? Is this a corporate roll?
Entertainment? Oh,
Is
no,
this
are
a
you...
political-
Are
this
you?
isn't a political statement,
Oh,
is it?
you're extending your media influence? That's corporate, yes.
Okay. That's a 10.
Okay. You get what you want.
Fantastic.
Are you really hoping that Lawson will pay for your hospital bill of 2 costs right now?
I mean, he did shell out a bunch of wealth to help get Karl prepared for the season, so.
Okay.
And I appreciate that.
Well, your hospital bill is 2 wealth, so we'll see if someone covers it.
Man, that stress. Those head hits.
Yeah. I'd point out that there have been a number of moves available in different playbooks to lower stress, and no one ever took them because they spent all of their time with Brody.
I mean, I took stuff for lowering stress with other people. Tried to find excuses to show up in people's episodes even when you didn't know.
The great news is your next match will be against the winner of Hunter McGregor and martial law, so I'm gonna assume Hunter McGregor will be your next opponent.
Stress reduction for both of us.
But at the start of a match, your stress goes up by 1.
Yeah.
Which means you'll have 6 at the start of the match. I guess if you're going to have a stress explosion, having it before you get into the match is...
Well, I mean, if I, enter with Hunter, I'll go down to 4. And then when I get on the field, it'll go back up to 5. And then I have to pray for no head hits.
I'll buy that, yeah. Or pray that Hunter doesn't attempt to antagonize or attack you in any way.
Oh, geez. That would be rough.
Now that Vera knows that you can attack other mech warriors outside of the mech and even just try to disable their mechs, I'm pretty sure he's going to try it, but...
Yeah, probably. Out of curiosity... Nope, okay, never mind. We're already past that. So, yeah, I guess, so he's got his option of places to go after this match.
Yes. Would you like to make a statement with Duncan Fisher, interview with the DBC, Professor Williamson, or simply skip it altogether?
I'll go to I'll interview with the DBC.
The DBC? Not only are you the first one to make a political choice in your media, you've now chosen to do opposite sides. Lirin 1. Okay. Ernst Dieter Mueller is there. He's got that haircut where the sides are buzzed down, and then he's got the slight over with the frosted tips sort of deal. Okay. He's wearing a oversized, comfortable looking gray suit, like kind of charcoal. There's a lot of iconography now, a lot of Norse runes. A lot of pro-Lirin, like pictures of him shaking hands with the Archon, pictures of him with various generals, all around the studio, that sort of thing. Thank you letters from big CEOs who are like, oh, thank you for having me on your interview program, Ernst Mueller. I loved being there. He's like framed them on the wall behind him. There's a picture of him that just says obey at the bottom.
Okay.
Yeah, Star Colonel delVillar, thank you for joining me once again. You're here on Solaris Nights, the only interviewing news program of its kind now. We're number 2 only to Mech Talk. I understand that you recently ended your match in record time versus Kazuna, yes?
Yes.
What an incredible match it must have been. Let me say this. What are your comments about this new mech warrior who has come out of nowhere, calling himself the Phantom of the Field? Some are saying he brings back the essence of the old Master Gladiator, the Playmaker.
Let's see. What does Karl know about Playmaker?
Playmaker was he in season 1 or 2? Where I think it's season 2. He got unmasked, so he was like a luchador, right? Who basically never talked. He only had his lawyer as his agent make statements, but then he bet revealing his identity if he won or lost, and then he lost, so he got unmasked.
I think this honors somebody who kept their word despite the significance of what was put on the field.
Who would you say your favorite is going into the final parts of this tournament? Of course, you fought your way up to the last 20 spots, but who would you say has the best chance of standing at number 1?
I look forward to fighting for first place against Seth.
You mean Star Captain Seth Kabrinsky, yes?
Yes.
Very well.
I look forward to our fight for first place.
So you think you're good enough to face down with what some are calling is the Lyran champion, the dog of the Lyrans?
Yes.
It's my understanding that before your match, you had an interview with known subversive William Williamson, and like the live studio audience is like, boo! Somebody like stands up and shouts, he's a terrorist! And like security is like pulling that guy out of the room, and he goes, now, terrorist is a strong word. We'll let the courts be the decider for this one. Still, Mr. delVillar, you have certainly painted yourself an interesting portrait with your choice of meeting with, how can I say this delicately? Such an unusual political stance.
Mr. Williamson has done nothing but treat me with dignity and respect.
I'm sure that anyone who wanted to get you on their program would do so, but you've previously even gone so far as to turn on your own stablemates when you felt that they had become subversive, and yet now you deign to sit and dine with those whose ideologies are treasonous.
Conflict, disagreement, and conflict are core components to clan culture. I see nothing dishonorable in the actions of Hans Victor Davian.
Let me say this then.
That I was looking to make a controversial statement.
Yeah, for sure.
It's like I hopped on this show because I want to take the chance for that stress reduction.
Yeah, well, you've got the chance. Now you just need to make the dice. Let's see it.
I haven't used my edge yet.
Yeah, big numbers. Need big numbers here.
Let's see. That's
number.
entertainer. That's an 8. Do
Okay.
I want to risk failing it? What do I get for a 10?
A 10, you get 1 stress and a glory. For this, you just get a stress or a glory.
I'll take the stress reduction
I
and
thought
not
you
risk the
might.
biscuit.
It did not seem wise to. On a +0, aiming for a 10 is so risky.
Yeah.
All right. You feel a little bit better after, standing out. You came here looking for a fight, and Ernst Dieter Mueller definitely has it. You're pretty sure that he's smirking because he got the sound clip out of you that he wanted.
Mm-hmm.
This is for him. Inviting you was all a political act to make Seth look better and to make you look worse. Still, he tries to play it off somewhat gentlemanly, but yeah, he's definitely going to use your words against you over the next few weeks by taking, little bits of what you say and remixing them into other things and using them out of context. But for you, in your heart, you know what's right, and that's to do the honorable thing.
Does that erase my checkbox for having done an interview on the Lyrians?
That's questionable, but no, I'm still gonna keep it.
Okay.
It would be weird for you to somehow score very high with the Lyrians at this point, though. It would be highly unusual.
It's just amusing to me that I could just continuously get on the show and shit talk the Lyrians and then just score high affinity with the Lyrians.
That is true. It would be weird, but you would be like it would be like you were a jobber or the villain in wrestling, right? At least you'd be known. You'd be a household name.
That's true.
They wouldn't be like, well, who the fuck is King Nakamura and why is he moving so weirdly? I don't know if you guys have played WWE 2K22. I don't know who this King Nakamura guy is, but in all of my playthroughs, he's ended up on my team, and he moves weird. He just moves like he's out of a horror movie.
Just waiting for him to just tear his skin off and chase you or something.
It's so weird. It's like his hands are glued to his body, so he has to move them around his body before he can take them off. It's just weird. He's unsettling. All right, that's it. There's nothing else post. How badly is your mech damaged?
Not really.
It's an Omni mech.
Nothing went through the armor, and it's an Omni mech.
Yeah, so it'll only take one. So if it gets repaired, it simply won't be available next match. Yes.
Yeah.
And the cost is
custom clan mech superficial damage. So that's a 3.
Yep. Down for custom. Sorry, for Omni mech. So it's down to 2.
Okay. I guess not that it matters for anything mechanical. You'll just end up making some sort of statement praising Kazuna's honor and how he enjoyed the fight and would be willing to fight Kazuna in the future.
All right. Just writing this down. I mean, you've indicated though that you're like retiring after this tournament, but yeah.
And it doesn't mean that he wouldn't be willing to fight Kazuna.
I think Kazuna's fought quite a few Apex Dragons members. I think maybe it's time for him to retire.
Yeah.
His preferred links is not something that can hold up in a grand tournament setting. I very strongly considered using a Lynx, but Lynx versus something like a Direwolf would be a suicide pact. So I wanted something with a bit more punch.
I mean, if he came in the Lynx, I probably still would have picked the same mech.
Yeah, well, it would have been
try to keep up with it.
Would have been very bad for me. Very, very bad. Well, any post-game thoughts here? You're
I was hoping
position.
This thing was supposed to be a hit location mech, and I only got the one headshot. I was hoping to get headshots like Kazuna did. It was a lot of hit location rolls.
Yeah, Yeah, it was weird because I'd say you definitely got out hit locationed by Kazuna just getting very lucky.
Yeah.
It's very easy that these head hits will drag you down over time. You're gonna have a stress explosion. It's basically guaranteed now. It's just a question of when it's gonna happen. I mean,
Yeah.
if
And what would be
Gleemo
more
was a real
amusing-
savage, he would try to attack you either physically or verbally before the match to raise your stress.
Yeah. I don't know. I don't know if Hunter. I mean, Hunter's got that in him, but I don't know if he would do that to Karl.
We'll see.
We will see.
I think that's it on my part. You got anything else?
No, don't think so.
All right, audience. Thank you for joining us. Thank you for your support on Patreon and elsewhere. And, we'll see you for the next match. Have a good time zone.